Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
All right, Adam.
Hey, Jamie, how's it going today?
It's amazing today. Super excited.
All right. Me too. Today, I wanted to talk about my predictions for local SEO in the year 2021.
All right.
All right. So it's not 2021 yet, but of course, it's only a few weeks away. So I wanted to come out. These are my predictions and how they relate to local SEO. I've done a lot of research on this, and I've also I've seen a lot of the trends. And so some of those trends are going to continue. I have some predictions about some new ones. But the real thing I want all of our listeners to understand is get on these trends, get on these things now before they become the standard, and you will reap the benefits with higher search rankings and more business. That's what this is all about.
All right.
Okay.
I'm taking notes. Wish I could have my computer going. I could actually do this while we're talking, but I know that's your favorite.
Yep. We have a YouTube channel too. So you can, and today there will be a YouTube video done about this first one. And that is what I think is going to come into play more. And that's the rise of the knowledge graph. The knowledge graph is something on Google that is similar to your Google My Business page. If you're an entity, Google, basically it accumulates information about an entity like a business into one place. And it is basically your Google My Business, but weirdly, it has another address and it has another URL.
All right.
And yeah, that's one more for you to try and get. So
yay. Right.
Anyway, if you go to our YouTube channel, there's a quick video there. I think it's like 5 minutes about how to get that knowledge graph URL for you. And then once you get that knowledge graph, get that URL, if Google deigns to give you this honor, you'll be able to claim that knowledge graph. And then once you do that, what you're signaling to Google is that these are our cohesive properties. So if you have multiple locations, you want to sprinkle that knowledge graph link on all of those properties so that it signals to Google that you are one entity. And the more that happens, the more that Google can understand your business and that you're an authority and geographically relevant, the higher your rankings are going to be. Okay? All right. So that's
and what's your name of your YouTube channel?
It's called Magnified Media. Just go there.
But
you can just Magnify Media and Local SEO in 10.
Great.
Either one of them. And yes, rise of the knowledge panel. That knowledge graph. That's what I think is going to be important in 2021. And even if it's not, you should do it anyway, because it's important now. It's just the growth of that. I think it's going to get larger. Next one. Ready?
I have my pen ready.
Okay. This is kind of a weird one. And that means, and you'll see why. I think how your website feels is going to become more and more important. When I say how does it feel, I mean when a user, not you as the owner of that site who's been there many times, but as a brand new user to that site, when you go there, how does that make you feel? Is the site slow? Are the images, when you scroll, jumpy? Is it their crazy language all over the place that forces you to read the Bible before you can find, the phone number? Crazy things like that. How does that make you feel? And a great way for you to check as the business owner, open up a new browser. If you use Chrome, open up Firefox or Safari or whatever Windows. What's the Windows one now?
Edge.
Okay. So, or Internet Explorer, Edge is fine too, whatever. But point being is you want to open up your website in a browser that you haven't used before, or that the cache has been cleared. The memory isn't there already. And you want to see how it loads Is it fast? How it scrolls, all that stuff, to make sure that this is what a new user is going to feel when they see your website. Do you have a pop-up that's super annoying that's on every page of your site? Take that stuff off, limit those pop-ups. That's really, really important.
So do not annoy the web visitor.
Yeah, well, so there are platforms like Squarespace or Wix and WordPress where sometimes the plugins or whatever, the back end of it makes that website and when you scroll, jumpy. And it's really, if it's on an iPad or on your phone, that can drive you bonkers, right? So if it drives you nuts, imagine the person who's really just there to, do business with you. Why do they want to do that? So you want to make that user experience. How do they feel? Kind of include that when you're developing your site. And if it is jumpy, if it has all these problems, then yeah, time to call your local friendly neighborhood website designer. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
Next one. This is something that we were kind of calling about or screaming about at the beginning of this year, 2020. And that is your site accessible? That the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, came in and now they're applying that to our websites. So, if you have a whole bunch of images on your site, on your homepage, for example, but nothing on there that tells what those images are. So no language that describes those images. They're called alt tags. You have to realize that if your site is not accessible to people who are visually impaired, then you could be facing a potential lawsuit. That's a big deal, right?
Yes, we do not care for lawsuits.
Nobody does. And, imagine you get sued because someone can't fit their wheelchair through your door. That's the same kind of thing. If somebody can't understand what your site is or can't interact, the idea is they can't interact with your website, then you could face a lawsuit, just like if a wheelchair couldn't enter your premises. So you want to make sure that your site is ADA compatible. And guess what?
Costs a lot of money.
Yes, and nobody knows really what that means. So you can hire a company to make it ADA compatible, and what they're going to say is, this is our opinion of what ADA compatibility looks like. And that's just the way it is in this day and age of anyone can sue. Of course, they can still sue you. So do your best. I think that the idea is do your best to make your site ADA compatible. And you can, accessible. You can, look on Google to how do I do that? There's some plugins that will do that or help do that. No one will ever say they can do it, but they will help do that for you.
Well, yeah, I imagine if you cannot see, then, and if you don't have a voice translator on your website, but who knows? But yeah, I completely agree with you. So,
well, this is something that Google is taking into account in terms of their ranking. So you definitely want to take care of it. There's all kinds of, if you register your site or sign in or register your site with Google Search Console, they will give you warnings if, things on your site are too narrow, like the buttons are too close together, or the contrast is too little. So that kind of stuff, your designer, maybe doesn't know about, you don't know about, but now you should really understand that, when you get those warnings, once you sign up for Search Console, you have to take them seriously, because what Google is saying is, we're going to screw you if you don't take care of this, right?
Well, this is great news for me. I can tell you why. Well, when I go to a site and it's not mobile friendly, and the text is microscopic, yes. Who do I call to sue them? I can't wait because I'm annoyed. I now get to sue somebody.
All right. Well, good.
Right. Is that
for
in
you?
YouTube? All right.
Yes. I'm sure if you typed in, who can I call? There'll be, lawyers will be jumping out of your screen to help you. All right. So, just like in 2020, and just like Jamie said, we want to focus on mobile first, of course. That means speed. That means making a mobile, making your site mobile friendly and responsive, all that stuff. Good. Super, super important. I think Of course, the Google My Business, that listing is not going anywhere. It's a great way for us to organically break into search results. So that's only going to expand. I think there's going to be more ways that Google's going to try and monetize those. But in any case, you want to optimize those as best you can. Go back and listen to some podcasts from before, and you'll be well on your way. Great. Last one is what people have always been saying for the last couple of years, and that is voice search. So if I go to my my map on my phone and say, "Hey, map, show me the top solar companies in my area," we want to make sure that our website pops up from that. And so the more times it does that your Google listing does that, the better it is for you. Usually, the way it goes is when one of these platforms rolls out a new feature, they heavily push it. So for Facebook, it used to be Facebook Live. If you did Facebook Live, your videos would go everywhere. Now they have tons of video, so they scale that back. Same with Google and voice search. Right now is the time when you want to make sure that your website is optimized for voice search. And that's done. You can look up online how to optimize my website for voice search. Ask your website designer. It's all about schema and adding schema to the back end of your site so that Google, when it crawls your site, will know what voice search is. It'll get triggered and bam, Bob's your uncle. All right. Awesome. Finally, I want to say Apple Maps.
Okay.
Now, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but there's a lot of scuttlebutt around the old SEO water cooler that Apple's going to be coming out with its own search engine. If it does, the first place you're going to see it is in Maps, in Apple Maps. So make sure that your website is registered with Apple Maps, your location is registered. It's a whole hassle, but just do it because that'll help you get a presence on Apple Maps. And as it grows, Apple's not a small company. So it's good that they're thinking about this. I hope they do because that's more competition in this search sector. So I love that.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more used than Bing.
Yeah. I hope so. Well, anyway, those are my predictions for 2021. If you have any other questions or you have any comments, please just send me a message on our Facebook page.
All right. I'm typing my messages right now.
Sorry, I went over again.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, as Adam said, please send a message through our Facebook page, LinkedIn page, or visit us on YouTube and check out the how to set up the knowledge graph. Excited to check that out. Please. And make sure if you know a business owner, please share this podcast with them because in these crazy times where businesses would rather go out of business than change, these are some pretty easy changes that they can make to help their ranking and bring in more customers for them. So do everyone a big favor and share this around, especially like in chambers of commerce. It'd be very useful. Then make sure to review and give us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to. That helps our rankings, and we get higher listeners and get the message out even more.
Yep. It's all about service, Jamie.
That's
we just want to serve more people.
We love that.
All. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.